guys, welcome back to another video. Let's jump right into it here with some information about Starfield and specifically limited edition accessories. Now, this is something we saw in the rumor mill, and then it was essentially confirmed later, but now we kind of have a more confirmation that this is going to be happening. And that is that there will be a Starfield limited edition controller, which you can see the picture of it right here. And it has red in the back and everything. I think there's some more pictures of it back. Yeah, here we go. There's some red and some gray. It looks very, very good, I think. I think it's a very cool looking controller with the Starfield branding and all that type of stuff on it. But that will be a limited edition controller that's going to go for $79.99. And then there will be a limited edition Starfield headset, which is going to go for $124.99. And it's going to be coming out with the games when it releases in September. It's going to be announced on June 11th at the showcase. This is obviously a little bit of a spoiler if you didn't want to hear anything that they're going to talk about, but this is what this report here is saying. And I mean, I'm probably going to pick up the controller. Most likely won't pick up the headset, as I already have the Xbox wireless headset. I have this headset. I have too many headsets that I don't need another one, but the controller looks pretty cool, so I'll probably end up getting that. What my fingers are crossed for, though, at the June 11th showcase with the Starfield Direct is a limited edition version of the game. Not just the console, but literally like a collector's edition of the game. I really hope they do that. Something similar to what we've seen with other major games that have come out this year, like The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We have seen those leaks and kind of speculation of the smartwatch that Todd Howard was wearing, and that was going to be part of the collector's edition. So I'm really hoping that that is something that they do announce. But man, I can't wait for that Starfield Direct. We're going to be getting announcements for accessories. We're obviously going to be getting tons more gameplay and seeing how it's evolved from the first time that we start Starfield. And hopefully we'll also get the answer that everybody is waiting to see. And that is the game going to have a 60 FPS mode on the Xbox consoles? So that's going to be huge. And whether it has 60 or 30 on the Xbox consoles, I personally don't think it's going to have a major effect on how this game does. If it's a very good game and it's 30 FPS on console, people are still going to be playing it. But my fingers are crossed that it does have 60 FPS. I've said throughout this entire time from last year, I haven't changed what I thought, and I'm not going to change it now, even though I could be completely wrong. And I think they will have a 60 FPS, especially after what happened with with Redfall. That they're going to want to try to have as little negativity going into this game as possible, because this is a generational game, in my opinion. It is the next big RPG for Bethesda. It's brand new. It's in space. It's going to be massive. People are going to be spending years and years and years in this game, and it's just going to continuously grow. And they know they want a solid launch. That's a huge thing. And I'm sure Phil Spencer is there saying we need a solid launch after the launch of Redfall. But look out for the controller, look out for the headset, as those will be announced, as it says here, on the June 11th showcase, which, I mean, we could talk about the showcase too. I think this is, like I said in my previous video about the PlayStation showcase, a massive opportunity for Xbox to capitalize on the lackluster PlayStation showcase. But we'll go over here. When we're talking about the PlayStation showcase, as we know, the discussion, it always keeps going on, right? About media bias. And why is it so popular to have a negative bias towards Xbox when you're a part of these big media websites like IGN? We saw the entire thing with Xbox Era where they were explaining that one of the reasons they believe that there's a media bias is because when review codes come out, like 75% or so of the main websites ask for a PlayStation review code. So they're going to be looking at everything through a PlayStation lens, which would automatically give you a negative view of the Xbox. And that could be something that plays into all of this type of stuff. And this isn't the first time we've seen this from IGN, but they did it again. And it's actually absurd. If you guys remember, I forget when it was, but it was within a live stream where somebody at IGN actually had typed out some negative thing about Xbox, but not having games coming out. And it was just very unprofessional. And here we have Kat Bailey. So first I'll read the tweet. This is from Peter Ovo. It says, the director of IGN director, I mean, that's a big role, is mocking Xbox and behaving like a PlayStation fanboy. It's time for Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg to do the right thing and reevaluate the relationship with IGN. They cannot be trusted to represent Xbox games fairly. Like and retweet if you agree with me. Now, here's what happens. So you have Kat Bailey here. So current IGN news editor. So a high up person at IGN who looks at all the stuff before it goes out and makes sure that, I guess, it's up to par for what IGN wants to publish. She responded to a tweet saying, Sony will have a major tentpole release next year. I mean, they're not Xbox. So essentially saying that PlayStation is just far better than Xbox. I mean, that's what she's saying here, that Xbox isn't going to be able to deliver on the games that they should be delivering on, which is their first party games. And I mean, you're the director of IGN. And then when stuff like this happens, there's always the people in the media on the Xbox side, in the big media, like on big sites like Kind of Funny, like IGN, GameSpot, all those big sites, right? That call out people or say that there is no media bias, and it's absurd that there's a media bias, especially after the Xbox Era article came out. You saw people who were high up, who are in these big media websites, saying that's ridiculous that they're having this conversation about a media bias. But stuff like this keeps happening. So I don't know how these people can expect gamers, the Xbox community, fans of the Xbox platform to not believe every time there is a negative article out there about Xbox that it comes from a huge space of just not liking Xbox. This isn't going to help. And if they keep doing stuff like this, you can't fault people for thinking that there is a major media bias against the Xbox platform. And it's ridiculous. I mean, if you're working at IGN, you're a director and you're putting stuff like this out, I don't know how these people are able to keep their roles and do it with integrity and expect people to think that the information that they are putting out isn't marred by a major bias against that specific platform. We'll see how this unfolds. We'll see if they continue to do this. And again, this isn't the first time that IGN has done something like this. Now we'll move on here. Forza Motorsport is supposed to be coming out this year. I'm sure we will get that release date at the June 11th showcase. I absolutely can't wait. But they put this tweet out here, and there was also a leak of the cover art for Forza Motorsport, which featured this picture here. And it says, we're excited to confirm your Forza Motorsport cover cars meet the stunning 2023 #1 Cadillac Racing V Series R and the 2024 Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. Tune into the Xbox Game Showcase on June 11th for an up-close look at the cars and see a full walkthrough of our single-player career gameplay during Forza Monthly on June 13th. See you at the starting line. So a couple of things here. Important to note that obviously we're going to see what the cover is like. We're going to see what the main cars that are featured in this game right off the bat are going to be. This is what they are. And 2 days after the big Xbox showcase, we're going to see a deeper dive walkthrough of the single player career gameplay, which is what I'm excited for. That single player campaign career stuff that Forza Motorsport has. So that, I mean, they're getting ready for the launch of this game. Is it going to be coming in October? Like a lot of people are saying, maybe it's going to be coming sooner. We don't know, but I can't wait to see more of this game in action at the June 11th showcase. It's going to be I think a technical benchmark for gaming in terms of graphically and how realistic things look. That's my expectations for Forza Motorsport. Racing games are always great at that, at making that wow factor when it comes to consoles. When it comes to the release of consoles, they're always like a release game because they can get really good graphics out of it. I think it'll be a step above Gran Turismo 7, and it will be that sim racer that everybody looks at as the benchmark of sim racers going forward. So very excited to see more of Forza Motorsport. And then finally, we'll end off today's video talking about Alan Wake 2 being digital only for a multitude of reasons. Now, this is what they say. There are many reasons for this. For one, a large number of players have shifted to digital only, which is an absolute fact. You look at the number breakdown, most people are digital only. Then it goes on here and says you can buy a Sony PlayStation 5 without a disc drive, and Microsoft Xbox Series S is a digital only console. It is not uncommon to release modern games as digital only. Secondly, not releasing a disc helps the price of the game at $59.99 and the PC version at $49.99. Finally, we did not want to ship a disc product and have it require a download for the game. We do not think this would make for a great experience either. So Alan Wake 2 is doing something that I think a lot more companies should be doing at this point, especially as we've moved way more into the digital age. And this is coming from somebody who still buys physical games all the time. I'm a physical game collector. I have physical games from older generations. I still kind of like buying the discs. Like, I would still go buy the Alan Wake disc most likely if they did release a physical version. But I love what they're doing here with only releasing the digital version and then reducing the price of the game. A question that I always have had, that when we see all of these games coming out in their digital form, there's absolutely zero reason why these games should be the same price as the physical version of the game. There's just no justification for it when they're saving all of this money on the distribution of the game, saving on the production of the case, the artwork, the disc. Just all of that type of stuff goes away. They're just literally uploading a file to these stores and it gets dispersed to the Microsoft store, the PlayStation store, to Steam, all of that type of stuff. The game absolutely should not be the same price as the physical version of the game. And if they want to phase out physical versions, that would just be a no-brainer. You just charge less for the digital version. And Alan Wake here is taking that initiative and doing that, which I think is a great thing. It's a $60 game instead of the $70 game. So you're getting $10 off, and then it's a $50 game on PC. And they're doing something here. They're acknowledging one of the worst parts about modern gaming, and that is buying a game, a physical game, putting the disc in and having to sit there for an hour as it downloads like 50 gigabytes, because the discs these days are essentially just unlock keys. So happy to see Alan Wake doing this. And this is a game that was shown off at the PlayStation Showcase, another one of those games that is going to be coming over to Xbox, obviously, as it is a multi-platform game. But I will leave the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.